All right. Want to make sure this could be heard. Shalom, shalom. Want to make sure I can everything.
Shalom, shalom.
All right, bet. We here going. All praises to Yahweh Hashem, Yahawashi. Gotta always start by giving praise and honor and glory to the Heavenly Father, who the world knows as God, the Most High, though, who we know as Yahweh being his name, Yahawashi being the Son, who the world ignorantly knows as Jesus Christ, right? Got to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father through his only begotten Son. Wouldn't be anywhere without him. I know brothers and sisters agree to that. Shalom, Yahawashi, Yahawashi, Barak, Atah. Any believers up in the chat. Shalom, shalom, any Akim, Aqua catching this, that may not be believers yet. But, it's potential that the Most High may open their eyes, remove the veil, and they are inducted into the body of Yahawashi HaMashiach, and that's what we strive for. All right. Khan. Hey, Shkar Halal, Yahweh Bashim HaMashiach, Malak, Yahawashi Shalom, Yahweh Bashim Yahawashi Barak Atah, to your brother Yahweh Sabah. You gotta get you, gonna change your name on there. You get your Yahweh Sabah now, man. Now you got your Hebrew name. All right. So I'm gonna just let things sit, get a couple precepts, and we about to get rolling, man. This probably won't even take long. This probably won't even be a long one. Of course, I always say that in lessons, and the spirit ends up making it go a totally different direction. So, but if that's what it is, that's what it is. But I don't see this one being a long winded lesson. Just enough to basically establish the point. Khan. Shalom. Akim Nakwa coming in the chat. All right. All right. So, Shalom. Yahweh Bashim Yahawashi Barak Atah says, glad to see you up on here, Sister Christy. All praise and glory to the Most High, man. Getting everything going. And y'all two in the West Coast, too. Y'all two both in the West Coast area, man. 3 hours behind. It feels good to be back at 7 o'clock. I've been to the West Coast a couple of times. It feels good better in y'all time. It's 7 o'clock right over there. We're here, we facing 10 o'clock. So believe me, man, it's gonna get mad late. But shoot. Let's go ahead and just get started into it. Like I said, this topic is pretty much straight to the point. And it's titled, Are We Kings? Right? It's titled, Are We Kings? And the reason I had this in my mind to do this for a while, but the Most High just had me come up and just kind of do this now. Just happens to be so. Everything is done in the Most High's timing, right? Through Yahweh Bashim HaMashiach Malak Yahawashi. So what caused me to do this was a couple of things, right? For one, noticing that when we're here, right? I notice, for one, brothers will greet each other as such, calling each other king, right? I have brothers all the time say, "Hey, what's up, king? How you doing, king?" And it's not bad, like in a sense of it's not disrespectful by any means. I understand it. Brothers are saying it in a sense to, we were discontinued from like I did before in one of the other lessons. We were discontinued from our heritage. And now to know that, hey, at one point in time, we were rightful kings on the earth. We had rulership because we did what the Most High told us to do. And he did exactly as he said he would, which would be to put us above all nations, above the earth. We stand above all nations, right? Most High is not one that he shall lie. He can't lie. It's impossible for him to lie. Right, so he did that, and he took place into that. He put us in a proper place, right? as he intended to. It goes back from Adam, right? It was supposed to be like that. So it's understandable that we're here as brothers calling each other kings. And as for sisters, we call it, y'all princesses. We don't use the word queen because that word queen goes into whoredom. But princesses, no doubt, daughters of Zion. Um, but the problem, brothers, and it's okay, like again, that's a beautiful thing to reclaim, trying to reclaim what we lost. But that's the statement I just made in itself is the issue. We're trying to reclaim it. Okay. Um, we can't. We're calling each other kings, and we're not yet kings. That's the thing. We're trying to reclaim this position of power. Let's go into the word. Let's go into the word king. Right. I'm gonna share my screen. Oh, and another thing about being a king, or a reason why I got into this topic is brothers also um, trying to take the power and authority. We do certain brothers that'll do certain things to take the authority and the power of being a king, right? While here on this earth, this very earth, we're walking in flesh and blood, right? So without further, let's go ahead and get to the king. Let's get to the etymology. I'm gonna go right to the etymology of it. Okay. Etymon online. All right. And let's search that word up. Right now, let me go ahead and share my screen and make sure y'all can see it. Let me know for some reason that you can't. All right. Let's go ahead and get that. Okay. So the word king there right now. All right. I want to make sure everybody can see it. If not, I mean, y'all know I just gave y'all where to go, but I prefer for y'all to be able to see it. I'm zoomed in. Yep, there we go. Zoomed in right now. Okay. So let me know. Hopefully, y'all brothers and sisters can see it. Right. All right. So king, a late Old English contraction meaning king or ruler. Right. So we know that a king would be a ruler. All right. This is of uncertain origin. It is possibly related to Old English sim, family, race, making a king originally a leader of the people. Or perhaps it is from a related prehistoric Germanic word meaning noble birth, meaning king, etymology, one who descended from noble birth. So, right now, we do know being a king means you are a leader of the people, man. Right? That's the title. That's really what it comes from, right? Oh, this is a king in the Old English, and basically, you might as well just say ruler, right? So you're a ruler, leader of the people, right? And here's the thing. The water. Glad y'all able to see it on here. So we see it, ruler, leader of the people. So here's the thing, right? Us being kings, taking that title and saying that we're that as of right now, right, would mean that we're actually in rulership, right? And like I said, this is going to be straight to the point. There's not much to break down here, just in the sense of we got to understand our place where we're at. Now, am I sitting here saying to say, oh man, we're the lowest of the low. Let's not let's not have a self-esteem to ourselves or carry ourselves in the manner, right, of kings, of trying to reclaim that. No, I'm not saying that by any means. But this is where we are. We have to understand where we are and where we want to be, right? There's where you are and there's where you want to be. So let's go ahead and start the first scripture. I'm gonna bring out Ecclesiastes, right? 3:1. Okay. Let's go ahead and get Ecclesiastes 3:1. No, still sharing. So let me get that off there. Let me unshare my screen here so I can get that window. Right. Let's get that window so y'all can see it. Okay. Let's go ahead and get it. All right. Ecclesiastes 3:1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together, time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to get and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to cast away, a time to rent and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, and a time of war and a time of peace. So y'all get the point, right? There's a time and place. Y'all know the saying, there's a time and place for everything, right? There will be that time in which we have, right, to take rulership in the kingdom, right? And to truly be kings, to truly operate as such, to truly be able to call each other king. And for real, and to be honest, and even to that, even we got to still be loose on that. Might be better with Prince, because shoot, even Yasharala, princes of the princes. Yasharala's dealing with Prince, right? Israel. So, because we know there's one true king, right? That we have to give him all credit. There's one king that's coming down here. There's one true king above all that's going to come and have dominion. He right now has dominion over heaven and earth, right? Y'all already know who I'm talking about, man. That's the Messiah, Yahawashi Hamashiach, man. He is the king and the leader, the ruler. And he'll be the ruler and the leader and the governor of Israel, man. So we got to understand and remember that, hey, look, we're not kings, and try to use it in a sense to not authorize power, put power over top of our comrades, and power over top of, even other nations, which we'll get into that. So we got to remember that. We got to remember, hey, we're not kings just yet. We don't want to have that mentality, right? It almost is like being in the mentality of being in the new covenant. We're not there just yet, right? You don't want to put yourself where you believe you're in the new covenant, because that's what there's a lot of people out there still believe we're in the new covenant. I don't know how. I don't understand how they think we're in the new covenant right now, because look at the conditions we're still in now. Is it getting ready? Are these conditions getting reversed onto our enemy? Khan. Is this time frame of cursing and walking on this cursed earth and these cursed bodies, and is this stuff getting ready to come to an end? Khan. Will we be in immortal bodies and in rulership? Hopefully, Yahweh willing, right? Because we don't know if that's what the Most High willed for us individually. We do know there are going to be rulers. We do know there's going to be rulers that come from Israel. So we do know that. And all praises, honor, and glory that this wicked kingdom is going to be throttled down, beaten to a pulp, destroyed, burned with thermonuclear warfare, and the chosen, the elect, and the multitude, the mixed multitude amongst them, will receive those crowns. And see, that's what we haven't received. We haven't received those crowns. We gotta remember, we are still in punishment, right? It's like you can't have your cake and eat it too. It's that type of thing, right? If your father, let's say you get in trouble, right? As a kid, right? You get in trouble and you act up in school. If you do something and you act up in school, and your mom and your dad tell you, "Hey, look, I'm taking the game away." You got the PlayStation 4 or the PlayStation 5, right? And kids act up and they take the PlayStation from you. And you're gonna tell your friend, "Hey, look, I'll play you in Fortnite. I'll play you in Fortnite, when I get home." But you ain't got the PlayStation. They got the drink wrapped up in the closet somewhere that you don't even know where the hell it's at. They hid it in some secret compartment in the closet that you have no knowledge about, or it could be in a safe. Wherever it is, you don't know where it is. So you don't have it. It's the key point I'm making, adding that extra sauce in there, but you don't have it, right? So we don't have that kingsmanship right now, right? We don't have that authority as it stands right now, is all I'm saying. That may not sound popular to people, but it's just the truth. We got to remember why we're here in the first place. Why are we why we're in captivity in the first place, right? That's the key. Remember why we're here. Let's get a precept that we all know all too well, right? Let's go ahead and go to let's go and get that Deuteronomy, man. But we're going to go all the way to 28. And it's stuff that we've done time and time again as a nation of people. Time and time again, right? Let me just click it here because it's going to take forever for me to go through all that. Deuteronomy 28. All right. So, and it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of Yahweh thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments which I command thee this day, that Yahweh thy power will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. All these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of Yahweh thy power. Right? Listen to your parents, listen to your father. You're going to be blessed. You're going to be rewarded in a good way. Right? But, of course, the majority of our people, right, we took the high road. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Right? And look at them. Of course, we know that we know about these curses and what we've been given, right? Now let's get to the opposite. I'm gonna go back real quick in Deuteronomy. Let's go to 7, right? Yahweh shall cause thine enemies that rise up against thee to be smitten before thy face. They shall come up against thee one way and flee before thee 7 ways. So all the enemy, and this has happened in wars time and time out again, right? When the Most High was with us in the times of, hey, look, from Saul, David, when David was going on many wars, right? We would deal with these battles and come out victorious, right? But in this instance, when we're not, and that's what we did when we're supposed to, because we had righteous leadership. At the time, we were practicing righteous leadership. Anytime we won a victory, because remember, the Most High controls all, right? He deals with all of it, right? So it's not, we're putting forth our best effort, but the Most High is designing, he created. It's already a fixed fight. It's like WWE, man. The match has already been decided. It's fixed. It's already done. Before it already started, you know who's going to win. Now, maybe the actors may put a little bit of extra sauce into it, make it a little bit more entertaining. But at the end of the day, the winner, decided winner of who the match is, It's already been given. Just like a lot of these sports that hey, we as a people be watching. Football, Super Bowl, these finals. Hey, they already got that. Now Esau tries to do the same thing. He tries to be like the Most High, so here he tries to put his hand in it. He already got his hand in the fight, so it's already fixed because he wants to be like the Most High God. Just like how the Most High has these fights fixed to the way He wants it to be, likened on to the way He wants it to be. That's the same thing Esau be doing. But I digress on that topic for right now. That's another situation to deal with. But it's just to show you, right? Deuteronomy 28. Now let's go to the opposite, right? Right? Let's go to 20. Yahweh shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke, in all that thou settest thine hand onto for to do, until thou be destroyed, and until thou perish quickly, because of the wickedness of thy doings, whereby thou hast forsaken me. And it has all to do because we've forsaken them, right? 22. Yahweh shall smite thee with a consumption, and with a fever, and with inflammation, and with extreme burning, and with the sword, and with blasting, with mildew, and they shall pursue thee until thou perish. So it's the opposite, right? 25. Here's the exact antithesis of what it was if we're blessed by the Most High. Yahweh shall cause thee to be smitten before thy enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them, and flee 7 ways before them, and shall be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. That's how you get scattered. You get moved in all these different kingdoms. One of the curses is being scattered, right? In 64, right? And we could go through all of these, right? But it's showing you, right? We're not kings. We're not kings at this particular point. We're not in our hey, look, we're not in our mind state of where we should be. We're not in the mentality of kings right now. Except for the fact, I will say this, except for the fact that Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahawashi, those who truthfully seek Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahawashi in truth and sincerity, at that point, right, that's how you begin to get into the mold. So we're practicing. We're rehearsing these righteous acts currently is what we're doing. By doing that, you're getting the mentality of being a king. But we're not. We can't call ourselves kings, right? We can't call ourselves kings. We're practicing that mode because we're just not there yet. And people could say that I'm probably taking this a little too far in the sense of, that's what we're talking about, just practicing that. If we're stating that we're rehearsing, right, practicing the righteous acts, then that's one thing. But if we're talking about, like some brothers really take this, they really take it that way. And that's why it just has to be addressed. Like I've said, when I talk to brothers, right, and they call me king, sometimes I get lazy because you have to keep telling them. I get like, I don't want to. I'm not. Hey, brother, I'm not king. I'm not king. I'd rather you not call me king. And I don't even want to sound disrespectful. It's not that I'm trying to be disrespectful at all. It's much, it's much love. But at the end of the day, I can't take something that doesn't belong to me. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't belong to me. Like, you gotta earn it. We all gotta earn that. I know I'm not a king here on earth, and that's the thing. Now, could I potentially get it? Yeah, how will I get that, right? Because that's the rulership. We could potentially get that rulership of being a king. Yeah, how willing, if you're a sister, you'll receive the crown of being a princess, right? Under heir to your husband in Yahawashi Mashiach, right? We gotta strive for these things, right? You're not gonna play chess and you skip over somebody, but you right before you in the middle of the board, and you talking about you gonna tell your opponent, hey, king me. They gonna look at you crazy. He's like, oh, this right here, he must be joking. It's not real. So you can't do that because we're not in that position. We're not in that position of power just yet. It's coming soon to those who are believers in Yahawashi HaMashiach. It's coming soon. It's coming soon, but it's not there just yet. We gotta hold on. We gotta hold on real quick, Yasharala, because we're not there just yet. Right? We're not there just yet. Let's go to Jeremiah. Right? Y'all know about this. Jeremiah 17 and 4. Let's start off at let's start off at 1 actually. I'm gonna start off at the top. Jeremiah 17 and 1. The sin of Judah is written with a pen of iron and with the point of a diamond. It is graven upon the table of their heart and upon the horns of your altars. While their children remember their altars and their groves by the green trees upon the high hills. O my mountain in the field, I will give thy substance and all thy treasures to the spoil, and thy high places for sin throughout all thy borders. And though thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever. And look, and that's the and look. So when the minute you serve your enemies, when you serve, the minute you get into serving your enemies, right? That shows that you are no longer a king. A king is not going to serve their enemies, right? That's one thing. A king really don't. A king is the leader, all under Yahawashi Mashiach Yahawashi, of course, under Yahweh, and Yahawashi being that king of all kings, right? But there's no way at this point we're not about to serve under our enemies if we're truly kings. And look at where we at, right? Look at what we're doing right now. Deuteronomy, that's that Deuteronomy 28 and 48. Let me get that. It says, therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which Yahweh shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and the want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. And shoot, that's what we're doing, right? We know that. We know that we're serving our enemies no matter what we do, no matter what it is we do. It's a reality check, right? Because we know we can make the best for ourselves. We definitely make the best for ourselves while we are in the land of our captivity, and while things are still going as they're going. Though we know the prophecies are pulling up, we know the signs, the end times are continuously increasing at a rapid rate. We know this, so we're gonna take all these things into account. But of course, you're gonna still provide. You provide for yourself. You got family members, you got children, your family members, you got your children. You're gonna protect yourself. You're gonna protect yourself and do the best that you can while you're here within the guidelines of Yahawashi Yahawashi, of course, right? So we're gonna do that, but it's always a humbling experience to remember, right? Never forget, right? Never forget, because we can let these things get to us, and a lot of, even knowing your heritage, whether it be something that we got on this earth, right? A possession, a job, our own work, our knowledge of knowing who we are as a people, right? Knowing that we're Israelites, waking up to that, just the nationalistic part, right? And knowing who your God is, and you can be proud of that. You definitely be proud of serving the Most High in the sense of you're happy, like yo. But you got to know that also in that comes is knowing your place right now. And does that mean, I'm not by any means saying no, kiss Esau's ass. I'm not saying that. It's lucky if that offended anybody, but I'm not saying that by any means, no. Well, just also knowing we have to walk humbly, right? This is mixed in and blended with being humble. One of the, just being in the fruits of the spirit at all times, right? The Most High exalts the humble. Matter of fact, let me get that real quick. Let me get that. I think that's and feel free if anybody got precepts, y'all throw them in here, man. Y'all throw in precepts. Y'all not taking anything away. Y'all only adding to it. If y'all got precepts, throw them that fit in, that tie in with the topic. Go ahead and throw them in there. But let me see. Right now, James 4 and 10 is one. So let's go. James 4 and 10. Humble yourselves in the sight of Yahweh, and he shall lift you up. Right? So by humbling yourself in Yahweh, right, through Yahawashi HaMashiach, right, you know that it's also gonna lift you up, because The Most High exalts the humble, right? Let's get that. The Most High exalts the humble. He humbles the proud, and that's the funny thing. He's gonna humble the proud. He resisted. Let's do this. 1 Peter 5:5. All right. I'm gonna pull this one up. 1 Peter 5:5. Because see, this is a humbling experience. Being in captivity is a humbling experience in itself, man. Right? Constantly. And sometimes to the point, even in captivity, yo, that's how we are as Jake. We've done this time and time again, man. and this is why it's a constant thing to remember this. We've all, the best of us have gotten caught by this, man. That's why being in captivity will knock you back. The Most High will knock you back some notches, man. You start thinking you're getting ahead of yourself. It's 1 Peter 5 and 5. Okay. 1 Peter 5:5. Likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. Yea, all of you be subject one to another, and be clothed with humility. For Yahweh resisteth the proud, and giveth grace to the humble. Humble yourselves therefore under the mighty hand of Yahweh, that he may exalt you in due time. Hey, so and that's what it comes down to, man. Give grace. He gives grace unto the humble, right? Right? He gives grace to the humble, and he knocketh down, right? He resisted the proud. Because if you're proud, the Most High is not gonna deal with you if you're gonna stay in a proud state of mind. And a lot of that's cognitive dissonance, right? Where for one, you're not gonna accept it, right? You know it, but you're not gonna accept truly in your mind what it is. You're in a stage of denial by not accepting what is taking place. And that's what's really got our people in a lot of issues right now. When we try to wake them up, right, to who they are. You wake them up to who they are as a people. And then from that point, fully wake them up into the grace of Yahawashi. Right. Well, for one, let's start right there. You waking someone up into who they are, their nationality, telling them they're not black, not Hispanic, not Native American anymore, right? But they're too proud to hear that, because they've been too busy caught up in this false religion known as Christianity, or this false religion as Islam, any of these things you name, Buddhist, right? Any of these, right? They're too caught, 5%ers, all of these different things, man. All these avenues that Jake has, or just a free spirit. Hey, look, man, I just go with the wind. I'm just there, and I just move as a free spirit. I go where the air takes me, dude. You be saying some nonsense. I'm a frequencer. You know what I'm saying? I vibe with the frequencies of the wind, and they're not hearing any, and their mind is gone to the wind because they're not hearing anything that you're bringing out. It's not clicking at all, right? So a lot of that's a proud spirit, because you don't open yourself. You got to open yourself to knowing, okay, man, because we could have all kept that mind state when we heard that. As many times as brothers and sisters have heard John 3:16, especially if you grew up in a Christian church, you could have kept that mentality. There's still a lot of our people that still do, proud, thinking they know a lot. They profess themselves wise, and they fools, man. That's unfortunately that's what it comes down to. And the Most High will keep you in that state of delusion if you stay in a proud mind state, right? But for those that will humble themselves and liken themselves onto it like as a little child, like as Yahawashi said in Matthew 18 and various other precepts in the gospel, right? Being likened onto as a child, right? That's why we have to come in that child mentality, right? We have to come in as a babe. When we do as such, he gives grace to those that are humble. He gives grace to the children, right? He gives grace to those children. So just like he did, just like he did the children, because they're, for one, when you think of children, they're not in tune. It's like little. I'm talking little children, like toddlers to babies, the baby stage, right? Baby stage to toddlers. Ones that they don't have that conscious sake yet, right? They don't have the understanding between good and evil. Most High will give grace to that child for that very reason. He don't. The child knows they don't know, right? They're in constant learning state and mentality. And that's what you got to be in, right? Let's get and Most High prove that. So let's get Deuteronomy 34. Okay. And let me see. I think, or maybe 32. Get 32. Let's get Deuteronomy 32. And I think it's let's get let's start at Deuteronomy 32 and 17, because this fits in perfectly, right? Deuteronomy 32 and 17. They sacrificed unto devils, not to God, Yahweh, to gods whom they knew not, right? So I'm going to read that again in that context, right? They sacrificed unto devils, not to Yahweh, to gods whom they knew not, to new gods that came newly up, whom your fathers feared not. Of the rock that begot thee, thou art unmindful, and hast forgotten Yahweh that formed thee. And when Yahweh saw it, he abhorred them because of the provoking of his sons and of his daughters. And he said, I will hide my face from them. I will see what their end shall be, for they are very forward generation. Slack your children in whom is no faith. They have moved me to jealousy with that which is not God. They have provoked me to anger with their vanities. I will move them to jealousy with those which are not a people. I will provoke them to anger with the foolish nation. For a fire is kindled in my anger, and shall burn unto the lowest hell, and shall consume the earth with her increase, and set on fire the foundations of the mountains. All right, now let's jump down, right? Because this is around the time of Moses, right? This is the end towards where he's stating, because a lot of our people were bucking up against Moses, right? For leading them out of Egypt, right? When our forefathers were getting taken from out the land and being free, right? The whole time being free from bondage, and they had something to say, always bucking up against Moses, thus bucking against the Most High, saying, "Oh, you set us here." They're making claims saying this man took us out of here just to kill us. You know what I'm saying? Which didn't make sense. We really just left them there if that was the case, right? So, let's jump down. I think, let's get to 49, I think. So get thee up. Let's go to 49. Get thee up into this mountain, Abiram, onto Mount Nebo, which is in the land of Moab, that is over against Jericho. And behold, the land of Canaan, which I give unto the children of Israel for possession, and die in the mount whither thou goest up, and be gathered unto thy people, as Aaron thy brother died in Mount Or, and was gathered unto his people, because ye trespassed against me among the children of Israel at the waters of Meribah Kadesh, in the wilderness of Zin, because ye sanctified me not in the midst of the children of Israel. Yet thou shalt see the land before thee, but thou shalt not go whither unto the land which I give the children of Israel. Right? So what I'm looking, So Moses getting ready to lead them out, and I'm trying to look for the exact point, right, where he tells them, right? He tells them save Caleb, right? And save Caleb, and of course Joshua would inherit that land, right? Let's see. Give me just a second on that. All right. Let's go to Numbers. Let's see. Let's see. I'll find that one a little bit later. Because specifically what happened was basically the children, right? The children and Caleb, of course, and Joshua, the ones of the new generation, were the ones that would make it. They were the ones that would make it into the land and come over into the land. But unfortunately, everyone else, they wouldn't make it because, right, they transgressed. The Most High had to start all over. He had to wipe the whole slate clean, so the children would be spared, right? But you know, everyone else wouldn't make it into the land. Except Moses, he would get to see it, but even he couldn't even get into the land. He wouldn't even get a chance. He wouldn't even make it and cross over. He would get to see it, unlike the others, but he wouldn't make it over. But the children were spared, right? So we got to come in as little children and be humble, right? We got to be humble in this thing and just stay on the course, right? And that's what this captivity does. It keeps us humble. Remember why we're here in the first place, right? So let's get the book of Isaiah, chapter 3. And verse 8. For Jerusalem is ruined, and Judah is fallen, because their tongue and their doings are against Yahweh, to provoke the eyes of his glory. So, hey, Jerusalem is ruined, and Judah is fallen. And the tongue of our doings are against Yahweh, right? We're provoking him the whole time, right? It's a burning to him, right? Because we're constantly doing wickedness. Our forefathers are doing so much wickedness, right? And we are our forefathers as a nation, as a whole nation, because not every single prophet was the reason. They were trying to have in righteousness, right? Prophets like Isaiah that we're in right now, right? Jeremiah, Ezekiel, you see those people, Daniel, those Hezekiah, those people that stood up, right? Those people that stood up for the name of Yahweh. But at the end of the day, we still transgressed. Those people that stood up for Yahawashi in his time, but there's a lot of people that still transgress. And this is prophesied. This would have to happen, right? This would have to happen, right? Understand the scriptures clearly breaks down that we're not at the place that we want to be just yet. Let's go to the book of Hosea, chapter 7 and verse 7. All right. We'll start at we'll start at the top. We'll start further. And it's showing you it's the same thing. It's the same thing that we're doing, right? The same situation that's putting us in these positions. Hosea chapter 7, verse 1. When I would have healed Israel, then the iniquity of Ephraim was discovered, and the wickedness of Samaria, for they commit falsehood, and the thief cometh in, and the troop of robbers spoileth without. And they consider not in their hearts that I remember all their wickedness. Now their own doings have beset them about. They are before my face. They make the king glad with their wickedness, and the princes with their lies. They are all adulterers, as an oven heated by the baker, who ceaseth from raising after he have kneaded the dough till it be leavened. In the day of our king, the princes have made him sick with bottles of wine. He stretched out his hand with scorners. For they have made ready their heart like an oven, whilst they lies in wait. Their baker sleepeth all night, in the morning and burneth as a flaming fire. They are all hot as an oven, and have devoured their judges. All their kings are fallen. There is none among them that calleth unto me. Look at that. He's saying right there. This is speaking Ephraim, which was representation leader of Israel, right? All their kings have fallen. It's because of all these actions that we've taken place, right? Adulterers, right? Which is a sin unto death, right? These things that we continuously do, always. We're continuously putting ourselves in these situations, shooting ourselves in the foot, right? He said that they have made ready their heart like an oven. And this is the thing, man. Devoured their own judges, and all their kings have fallen. The nation of this isn't speaking for the nation of Israel. So, hey, we have to walk. We have to walk in the spirit. The brother Yahawashi got a precept on it, Galatians 5:16. So I say, walk by the spirit, and you will not gratify the desires of the flesh. And that's the thing. That's the thing here on this earth in Babylon, right? That's a beautiful precept. In this land of Babylon that we walk in, right? We got to remember that. We got to remember to stay in that mentality of a child and walk in the spirit. I was just talking to a brother today. It's crazy. You have to stay in the mindset of, you have to stay in the mindset of being in the spirit, being in these scriptures, being in Yahawashi, because there's so much distraction in here to get you caught up, and you can go to and fro, left and right, not knowing your direction, not knowing where you're going. Because if Yahawashi is not your head, right, you know, you're running down the order. You don't have Yahweh, don't have Yahawashi men, right, to be the head. That's your vision. You're gonna go to and fro and about. And women, you don't listen to a man of Yahawashi, you're gonna go the same. You're gonna go all up around the corner, now not knowing the direction that you're going to, right? So it's the same thing. At least taking heed, right? Taking heed to them. Even if you're not married, taking heed to brothers of Yahawashi Hamashiach, you know, because we as men, we got to take heed to Yahawashi, right? Who in turn we get the commands he gets from the Father. So you listen to him, you're listening to the Father, right? So that's where it is. That's where it is. We got to remember to stay in this humble mind state, this humble mentality, day in and day out, man. Day in and day out. Stay as a child. So we remember this captivity is humbling. It reminds us where we really are. This is why we can't be kings. So when you see, right, this is why we can't be kings right now. This is why we're not kings now. Let me phrase that. Not saying you can't be kings like in the future, right? Because that would be a blessing to be and under Yahawashi Mashiach. But let's get the book of Lamentations real quick. Salaki. Lamentations 5:16. All right. The crown is fallen from our head. Woe unto us that we have sinned. And look at that. We have sinned. There's nothing to be even a king of. We have fallen. The crown has fallen from your head. The crown is a representation, right? That's a representation of kingsmanship, right? It shows. That's why when you play. I keep liking this on the checkers. I used to play that a lot. When you go on to play checkers, you get to that end. You finally hop that checker piece, and you get to the end. You take another checker piece and you put it over top. That's representation. Maybe even if you want to be real fancy with it, you'll flip the thing over where it shows the crown on it if you got those. But that's what it shows, representation. It shows you who's in authority, who's in rulership, who's the power. Right, Genesis 49, where it talks about the scepter shall not depart from Judah. Right? We lost everything, right? This is what it's talking about, because everything fell from us, right? If I go up to 14, this is why this is Lamentations, which it means sorrow, crying, weeping, right? The elders have ceased from the gate, the young men from their music. The joy of our heart has ceased. Our dance is turned into mourning. I'm going to jump down to 7. I'll read 16 again. The crown has fallen from our head. Woe unto us that we have sinned. For this our heart is faint. For these things our eyes are dim. Because of the mountain of Zion, which is desolate, the foxes walk upon it. You know? And look, everything we have is desolate. It's destroyed, right? temple was destroyed in about for the second. It was destroyed the second time in about 70 A.D. We lost everything. We're literally stripped of everything. That's why we discontinued from our heritage. Now you got these fake Jews walking. Hope they don't get me for that, but whatever. We say it all the time, so I ain't gonna take nothing down. These fake Jews, right? They're walking in our place, have our identity. You have these people out here right now thinking that, right? Still a majority of people, right? The ones that are not in the know. When you in the know, you know. But you still got the majority of the people, right, that are still dumbfounded, still believing that those clowns, right, are actually us. You got them, they thinking them clowns is actually us. When we know what it is. When you know, right? But this is part of the punishment. This is the humbling experience of the punishment, right? Because we have failed. Right, now let's go to, we'll deal with the reward part of it. We'll deal with the reward part of this, like, because we know we're going to see what it looks like right now with these fake Jews, knowing that being in our captivity, knowing we're dealing with these fake Jews and everything, and these Edomites, putting us in captivity, and what we have to deal with. That should let you know that we're not a king, because we don't have authority. We don't have authority and rulership. Another one. Well, I don't even got to pull this one out. Everybody in Job, right? The world's been given to the hand of the 9 and 24, right? The world's been given to the hand of the wicked. And we know we're not in control. We know we're not in control yet. As much as it pains to say, the high-level Edomites are, if we're talking for this earth, they are kings in terms of the surface level. They're kings right here. That's just unfortunate to say, but that's just what it is. That's just the truth of it. So we got to deal with these things. It's just the aspect of what we're dealing with right now, because we have sinned against Yahweh, our power, right? We sinned against our God. We sinned against him, and we still mess up to this day. But we try to get out. We're trying to work our way out of these things, right? We're trying to get back into that place and get in the good graces of Yahweh through his only begotten son, Yahawashi HaMashiach. Let's go to Revelation 2. Right? So since we was talking about these fake Jews, let's go ahead and go there. These Jewish people. Everybody knows this. Slacking. I'm getting tired. All right. I'm going to keep it going. I know thy works in tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. I know the blasphemy, Slaki. I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. So we're dealing with them, right? These people are the synagogue of Satan, right? And we know that to be these Amalek, right? These fake Jews, right? That are under Esau, on the lineage of Esau, right? They say they are Jews, but are not. Right. Now let's matter of fact, let's go to the next chapter. Let's get 3 real quick, and I'm gonna come back there because I left 10, but I did that on purpose because I want to come back there. But Revelation 3 and 3 and 9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them come and worship before thy feet, to know that I have loved thee. Now that's a reward. You see that? That's a reward. To have these fake Jews, right, that are committing the blasphemy, total lie, come and worship before the feet of the hopeful elect. Pray that we are of that, right? And that will be us, to know that I have loved thee, right? And that's the thing. That's going to be a blessing. See, this is a blessing. Another thing you do is, this is a blessing for those who overcome, right? This is a blessing for those who overcome, to make these imposters, right, get down and worship, right, before thy feet. This is under Yahawashi's authority. He's going to make them worship the hopeful elect, right? He's going to make them bow down right before them. And this is a reward. Look, check it out. Verse 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. That dwell upon the earth. You have to keep the word of the patience. So this is a patient thing. That's why this is a race. This is an endurance, man. This is a race of endurance, right? We gotta maintain this race and stay and endure. It's a marathon. This ain't a quick sprint, baby. You gotta keep it going, man. So that's what we aiming for. That's what we looking to do. That's what we're looking to do when we do this thing. We can't appoint ourselves with this right now. And I'm just gonna get to it, right? I'm just gonna get to this precept in Isaiah that is a beautiful one, mind you. Isaiah 49 and 23. We'll start off at 22 though. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I will lift up my hand to the Gentiles and set up my standard to the people. And they shall bring thy sons in their arms, and thy daughters shall be carried upon their shoulders. And right now, I don't know anybody who want a heathen to carry their daughters and the people in their arms do this right now. You can't trust them. So they're not even in a state of fear. They got to be in a state of fear and shock, complete, uttermost turmoil has to be playing in the mind. That's what's going to happen to these other nations when all this stuff pops off, right? When these so-called kings, these people have fallen so low, probably will be on the other side of the end of the earth, because America, Babylon, so-called America, will be destroyed. So we don't know. Some people may escape from here and be on the underground bunkers, as we know. They will be in. They'll try, so they may be able to, escape for that time, because he will say he'll get the king. So they may escape and be on a spot to where we'll be able to dig. That's what's gonna happen. Be able to grab them, but not every person is gonna make it. Not every single last Edomite is gonna be here in that initial frame. But the ones that are left are gonna be in the state of mind is gonna be such in the uttermost turmoil, chaos. It's gonna be chaotic, because look at the stuff that they've had to go through, and then to be taken and then to be put into slavery, right? It's gonna be all messed up for them. They're gonna be all battered. They're gonna be there's a lot that comes with that, right? When they're in they're in a state in the uttermost fear right now. And yeah, Esau is fearing because he knows what's getting ready to come, but this is a different type of fear. Like after it's taken place, you're in utmost shock. Like, you never know when you ever been through something where you're like, and you could even know it was going to happen, but until it actually happens, you're like, yo, I couldn't believe that this took place. I can't believe this just happened. Did this really just happen right here? That's what's gonna happen. That's how their mentality, that's how their mind's gonna be. If they can when they even get a chance to try to even grasp it. It's gonna be too much to grasp. It makes someone go mentally insane. Like seriously for anybody, seriously. And these people are not going to have, remember, the Most High is not with them. Yahweh is not with them, so there's no way they're going to be able to. Because we got to trust in the Most High, right, to get through the times we're going to get through, right? We have to have the uttermost trust in Yahweh Bashem and Mashiach Yahawashi to get through what we're going to get through. because the stuff that we're gonna face could be stuff that breaks somebody. Oh, Salaki. All right, Salaki, y'all. Um, but yeah, it's just to have to deal with that, right? I'm trying to remember myself back on track. Dealing with what's going to take place, right? All right, so let's get back. Let's get back to the scripture. Let the Most High just run me back in the spot. I lost my train of thought. Um, yeah, being carried upon his shoulders. So, uh, boom. So right. So they're gonna have to be in their mind's gonna be in a state of turmoil, right? To and they're gonna be in complete subjection and fear, right? So let's go to verse 23. And kings shall be thy nursing fathers, and their queens thy nursing mothers. And they should, and notice how they got queens. So kings shall be their nursing fathers, right? They're gonna be, see, these guys are gonna be brought down. The reason they're being called kings here is because that's who they're known as right now, right? It's when you look at the kings, right? Same precept we brought early in Lamentations 5, right? They've fallen. They were known as kings, but they've fallen from grace. No different than in the times when you go into the book of Kings, you had different people that had fallen and had the mantle, right? But they fallen. They fallen from that position of power, right? And all throughout the scriptures, even if you use the other nations like King Nebuchadnezzar, right? All these different people, they've fallen from power. So that's how it's listing them right there. Of course, you're not going to be kings in the kingdom. Not in the kingdom of the Most High, not of Yahawashi. That's why they're kings in their kingdom right now. And shoot, let's even get I might even get the word kingdom. Because that's something you gotta have. You gotta have rulership over that, baby. Right? You gotta have rulership if you're a king. And that means you have a kingdom. Let me finish the precept. So, and the king shall be nursing fathers, and the queens thy nursing mothers. They shall bow down to thee with their face toward the earth, and lick up the dust of thy feet. And thou shalt know that I am Yahweh, for they shall not be ashamed that wait for me. Just look. He's saying that they'll bow down to thee, their face toward the earth, and lick up the dust of thy feet. Boom. What we just read in Revelation 3:9. Right? That's the same equivalent. Now, the thing is, right, then that's for the reward for the righteous of the Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, that stay and endure with him to ever, keeping his commandments, having the faith in Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, and enduring to the end. Right? Now, I'm gonna be honest. A lot of brothers will use this precept on the block. A lot of brothers will use this precept on the block right now to have. I'm doing this for brothers that take heed, that listen. You can disagree all you want, but they'll take heed. They'll take into this right now, because there's a lot of brothers watching. Right? You gotta understand when we do things, especially being teachers. When we do things and we teach something, and we set an example for better or for worse, we're going to be held accountable for that, whether it be good or bad, right? We're going to be held accountable for that. So when brothers teach Isaiah 49:23, and then on the block, right, you use that for a heathen let's say, for one, I did a lesson. We did a lesson on this recently regarding, you know, why national, you know, dealing with the issues of making nationality, um, and it segues because when you use nationality as your crutch, these type of problems leak out, right? These things happen. Um, you're focused on that and not being focusing on, hey, am I one of the members of the elect, right? Even the multitude that'll be accompanied, but really it's the elect because it'd be the elect of Yahawashi Yahawashi. You got to understand because that's a reward for them. Keep that in mind. That's a reward for them. That's not a reward for us yet because in order to receive, right, they don't give you the trophy. You know, you're not going to get a trophy. If someone participates in the Olympics, they don't win the medals before they participate and win, right? You're not going to get a championship ring if you're in a football team or you're in basketball, right? You're in the NBA, the NFL. They're not going to give you, right, even if it's scripted, like stated before, they're not going to give you the official jewelry, right, before you have actually completed the win. Even if they told you, and you've heard already through the grapevine, I know we're going to win this game. And that's another thing that bothers me is that it's like this. That's another problem that bothers me is that it's like this in this world. It's not done fair. And Esau always has to have his hands in everything to be something he's not because he's wicked and he's trying to be like the Most High and he fails and he sucks and he can't be like Yahawashi Yahawashi, but he wants to be like them. He wants to be like them and he wants to be like us. But he can't do it because he sucks. Anyway, that's another topic. We'll title that Esau Sucks. But this is basically, you know what I'm saying, we're not ready to put them there yet because you still won't get the chip. Yeah, you won't get that ring. Same way you won't get a ring, the championship hardware until you win. That's the same way we got to look at ourselves. Being a king, calling ourselves the title of that, and doing such things like this, like having the heathen come and lick the dust off our feet, right? That's premature. Premature. Now, look, I'll say this: if an Edomite or whatever nation wants to go ahead and they just start doing it, hey, look, whatever. If they just start doing it, they just start doing it. You had no control of that. They just started doing it. Me, if it happened with me, I might tell them, hey, you know what? Appreciate it. Save it for the elect in the kingdom, if they even make it there, right? But this is a reward for those who stay diligent in Yahawashi HaMashiach, right? This is a reward. Again, we have to stay and endure in this thing, because how are we to take it? Well, when you get into this nationalistic doctrine, of course, and they teach you that all Israel shall be saved. So you're going to come at some point. You're going to get it in your mentality. You're going to receive it. But this is a reward for those who believe in Yahawashi. One of the many rewards, right? This is one of the many rewards to receive. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. Those people will be put into captivity by a hopeful elect. That's a reward. But we can't be. It's not in us right now to be exercising this action toward other. For one, like stated before in that video, a lesson I did, I believe it's titled "The Problems with Prioritizing Nationality Over the Gospel," right? You can't. This is why you can't do that, man. Like, because you have that mentality just because of my nationality of an Israelite, not even knowing whether you're actually going to inherit the kingdom or not. None of us know that. None of us know if we're going to inherit the kingdom or not. We don't know that. And you're not going to inherit it if you don't believe in Yahawashi. And fully, you won't be resurrected in the kingdom to get it if you didn't come in and get it the first time as the elect. So that's got to be wiped out. There's no there will be no reincarnation for our people when they, you know what I'm saying, if you don't receive it. You will not be reincarnated into the kingdom. It's called everlasting life for a reason. Those will have everlasting life and those that will have everlasting contempt. Okay? So this is a reward for the elect, right? Those who follow diligently in Yahawashi HaMashiach, doing their best, you know, who the Most High ultimately really has predestined to come into the fold and believe and endure to the end. Because, right, the same way we'll tell, look at it like this. The same way we tell a Christian, you're not saved yet, which is true. We got to tell ourselves that. We're not saved. We're not kings yet. Matthew 24:13. I'll start at 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold, but he that shall endure to the end, the same shall be saved. Right? The same shall be saved. Right? You got to endure to the end. We're not there just yet. Right? We're not there just yet. Let's go back to Revelation. No, actually, I'm gonna get first. Let's get 1 Peter chapter 5. All right. 1 Peter 5 and 4. We'll start off as 2. 1 Peter 5 and 2. All right. Feed the flock of Yahweh which is among you, taking the oversight thereof, not by constraint, but willingly, not for filthy lucre, but of a ready mind. Neither as being lords over God's heritage, but being ensamples to the flock. And when the chief shepherd shall appear, ye shall receive a crown of glory that fadeth not away. And we know what that chief shepherd is. He hasn't arrived yet. He hasn't arrived yet. So if the chief shepherd hasn't arrived, who we know to be Yahawashi HaMashiach, aka the cornerstone, the righteous branch, right? He hasn't returned to give us that crown just yet. So that means, right, we're not kings yet, right? Brother, read a precept that the brother brought out here, Genesis 49 and 10. The scepter will not depart from Judah, nor the ruler's staff from between his feet, till he to whom it belongs shall come, and the obedience of nations shall be his. And that's another thing. Yahawashi HaMashiach. Yahawashi HaMashiach. A lot of us, I'm going to have to do another lesson on that in itself too. And this is not even a lesson, but it would just fit to me. I hear a lot of people mention the Most High. A lot of, like, many times without mentioning Yahawashi. We got to mention Yahawashi in our talks, right? Brothers, sisters, we got to. That's the chain of order. That's the chain of order, right? Because Yahawashi is the King of all kings. Without him, we would not have a chance. We would not be here, right? Of course, the Most High is the big Don Dada, the big chief, omnipotent power above all. But Yahawashi is the one. Yahawashi is the one, right? Who has dominion, and that scepter shall not depart from him, who heaven and earth, right? It belongs to. We're going to see Yahawashi, right? Everyone will be able to see him. We're right, wicked or righteous. But in the kingdom, Yahweh willing, we receive that. Yahawashi HaMashiach is going to be the one that everyone has to listen to. Even the hopeful elect, the elect that are given the powers from Yahawashi, right? Because if we're part of it, if we're with him, we were with him from the beginning. From the beginning, it's just the creation, right? The elect was with him from the creation in Genesis 1 and 1. We talking, right? building the earth. And it's surreal to think that, it's surreal to think that we fallen so low, man. We have fallen so low. That just shows you how low we've fallen, because we were gods of the earth, right? The same, it's surreal to think about that. The same people that created the earth, the same men that created the earth under Yahawashi's authority, not all of them, but some of them are still walking this earth to this very day right now. And it's a blessing to know that we may have a chance of being one of those men. That's a blessing. It also shows you how the Most High gets down, though, because it shows you how he took us from the state of gods. You know, year in Psalms 82, it's the year of gods. But we've fallen. We've fallen. We're not in our current state as our current state right now. Now we want to keep developing that God-like mentality, right? We're practicing that when we're practicing the works of Yahawashi, right? Doing his will, right? Of course, that's keeping his commandments, and ultimately, number one, though, having the faith in his only begotten son, Yahawashi HaMashiach, right? But man, it just shows you how low we have fallen to be in the state that we are in right now. It's such a should be a humbling experience. Don't let it discourage. It can't discourage us. It sucks to walk in this land, man, in a sense of knowing what's going on, the wickedness that's here, right? See, but we're not there yet. And there's only some of us that are going to get it. That's why preaching nationality is not also going to work, because hey, all of us are not going to. We know that all of us are not going to take that step of royalty, right? All of us are not going to take that step of royalty, but there's going to be some that will, right? 1 Peter 2. And 9. But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, and holy nation, peculiar people, that ye should show forth the praise of him who have called you out of darkness into his marvelous light, which in times past were not a people, but are now the people of Yahweh, which had not attained mercy, but now have attained mercy. See? That royal priesthood, that chosen generation, right? A holy people separate unto himself, Deuteronomy 7:6, right? Being called out of darkness. That's taking steps, right? That's taking steps into rulership, royalty, right? Total authority, right? And dominion over all, right? Under the authority of our Lord and Savior. And for women, you're taking a step into being princesses, right? There's the same women that their feet were too delicate to touch the ground, man. We're going back into that. If you take heed of that. But see, being in nationality, hey, we would never get it, because all of our people are not going to receive that. We too busy still being real niggas and real hoes. And I'm gonna use that word because I think it'd be a little too offensive for me to use the other word. But y'all know female dogs, man. Y'all know that. So it's like most of us are not going to take that. We're not going to seize that opportunity. The Most High's got to take the blinders. Really, ultimately, reason why is because the Most High's got to take the blinders off us to do so, right? But in order to receive that, you have that's the only way you can, is to come into the power of Yahawashi, the only way. And that's, hey, remember, like the precept the brother brought up, we got to focus on the spiritual constantly. Take heed to your, tend to your businesses, your works, your jobs, anything that you got going, your families, any that you have to take it, but remember to keep focus on this, because this is what's going to get you ultimately into real. I just saw y'all seen anyone else be on Instagram, man. Y'all seen the little It's a post. People been sharing it, man. And that's a genius one. It talks about people's dreams, right? Your dreams, y'all know what I'm talking about. The one was like, yo, y'all dreams looking like this, right? Where it's got people, right? Draft day, maybe being a lawyer, being a doctor, all these different career paths. And on the top, it's got rulership under Yahweh, a picture of Yahawashi being there, and Holy Temple, Holy Elite, man, just looking glorious. Whew, whew. Looks marvelous, man. That looks marvelous. And that's how I feel. That's how I feel, man. If you seeking the kingdom of Yahweh Shem Yahawashi, that's the number one thing you should be seeking too. Y'all can't even, when people try to talk and ask me, what do you I've had that question asked to me recently, a homie at the workplace. And he asked me, what do he was trying to look out or so, but you say something like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And he don't understand spiritual things, right? I'm at the job and the workplace, and he don't understand spiritual things. I told him there's a lot more to it than meets the eye. Like, if he had to talk with me outside of work, I would get real in the depth, right? I would get real in the depth with you about this. But if you knew, you would know why I move the way I'm moving. Because 5 years, 10 years, like, there's short-term goals, right? There's nothing wrong with that. If you can have a short-term goal in the way you're working and what you're doing, things on this earth, that's fine. But that ultimate long-term goal, hey, look, everybody that's trying to receive everlasting life, it should be the kingdom. That your long-term goal is to get that well done, my faithful servant. That should be your number one goal above all. If you got the mentality of Yahweh Shem Yahawashi in you, you should really be on that. Ain't nothing should trump that. I don't care. Look, there's still are people that are in different things, right? They could be are people that's in the military, are people that's in sports, right? They the Most High could have given them the gift to be playing sports and to be that good at a particular sport, but still be doing their best to keep the commandments in the best way they can here in this captivity, right? Because we don't know. Everyone's got different situations, right? Everyone's got different scenarios, different situations, but they're still going to be within this commandments. That doesn't mean you get a pass from following Yahawashi in truth and sincerity, right? Right? So, but regardless, right, to follow him, right, that should be the long-term goal, is following him and receiving, praying, hoping, praying, having faith in him that we may receive everlasting life. That should be the number one dream. That should be the dream, right? You ask me what I'm doing in 5 years. Praying I get the kingdom, man. That's really, don't get me wrong. There's short-term goals to build up, do different things, renovate the house, right? Accomplish certain things here and there. But, when you really just looking for the kingdom, there's certain things it's not going to take anywhere near. It's no contest is what I'm getting at. It's no contest. It's not even coming close. You can't, like, some people can't even see what they're going to be doing in 5 years. And I'm talking in this thing, like, really, you can't even fathom, like, 5 years, what am I going to be doing? Probably going through Jacob's trouble. Everything's going to be thrown apart. You know what I'm saying? Because we know if you really know what's coming on. Because Babylon is finished. Again, we talked already many times. And a lot of times, Jake will be more happy about what's going to come to this place. They're more optimistic about this place than the other nations who know this place is finished too. You ask the ones that know what's up, they know that this place is finished. The ones that knows what's up, maybe everyday Edomite is probably, building and saying how we can fix this country. America's through. You can give it up. America's finished. Right now, as us as a people, we are fighting and we are doing what we can do to endure, overcome, right, the temptations of this world, the lust of the flesh, to strive for perfection, right? Knowing that in this flesh we can't be perfect. That's the reason why flesh and blood can't inherit the kingdom anyway. but still striving for it. We're not going to use that as an excuse. We're going to strive for perfection. And you fail, you have a sin, and something that you're dealing with. We all do, right? Myself included, right? You're going to fight. You're going to overcome this, right? So that's what we're looking to do. We're striving for perfection in Yahawashi HaMashiach, right? That's the biggest thing that you can do while you're here on this earth. Khan, I didn't see that. James 2:24-6 is the body without spirit is dead. So faith without works is dead also. Khan. And then that's the works, doing the works of Yahawashi, which is the works of the Most High that He ultimately gave, right? That's what it is. We doing those works. Those are the works that the Most High is looking at. And his brother got a precept, Matthew 6:33. But seek ye first the kingdom of Yahweh and His righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. Khan. That's exactly what it is. When we seek the kingdom of the Most High, and this is one I give the brothers all the time, especially if you coming from being in the world, sisters, you coming from being in the world, key in on Matthew 6:33. That is the biggest thing to key on, because we like to worry about things that we don't have, right? As Jake, we always like this. We want this, we want that, we want to get this, and how can we upgrade? I be telling people in my job, man, like people be coming in there wanting the iPhone 13 and the iPhone 14 that came out, and they got the previous model. So Jake comes in with the iPhone. I've had plenty of times they came in with the iPhone 12 and they want to get the 13. And ain't much difference. What you upgrade, and you still got a buyout on your phone. You still got like $500 left on your last phone. Hey man, it ain't that special. I'm here to tell you, it ain't that real. Now, if you got an 11 and the joint paid off and you want to get a 13 or 14, okay, we talking. Now we talking. That makes a little bit more sense. But when you got the previous model and you still got money there ain't much to buy out. I mean, there ain't much to switch to. Why are you dropping that money like that? You know what I'm saying? People, Jake, we like to focus on the iPhone. We like to focus on all these other things. But the biggest thing, right? And we can't forget, right? That's because the Most High said how many times did the Most High say, because you forgotten me. They forgot and they turned aside, right? Let's get let me see. Let me get in Hosea. Let me go back to Hosea 14:1. Here we go. Okay. Book of Hosea, chapter 14, verse 1. O Israel, return unto Yahweh thy power, for thou hast fallen by thine iniquity. Take with you words and turn to Yahweh. Say unto him, take away all iniquity and receive us graciously. So will we render the calves of our lips. So, hey, look. This is why we're returning back to Yahweh. We've fallen because we've fallen from our own iniquity, right? We have fallen from this, man. And we got to come back to him. This is how you receive that kinsmanship. This is how you receive being a king. This is how you turn into a king. If he takes you and you endure to the end, of course, right? This is how we become kings. It's how we become princesses again. Now, right now, we're walking in that sanctification process, right? You're baptized into the faith, and make that clear again. You're physically water baptized into the faith in the name of Yahawashi, our Lord and Savior, for the remission of sins. And then you're sanctified, walking in the sanctification. You're practicing the righteous and rehearsing the righteous acts of being a king, right? Kingsmanship. Sisters, you're practicing, rehearsing the righteous acts of being a princess. Like, and that's a lot. That's a lot that comes with that, man. You want to start that, right? Because we're trying to not be niggas. We're not trying to be hoes. We're not trying to be female dogs, right? We're not supposed to be. That's not for the Most High. That's not for the intention of what we're supposed to be. From the garden, we was of royalty, coming from Adam, then everything fell apart, right? But that's why his elect. This is why we say hopeful elect. Notice we say hopeful elect. That because if we were all just being Israel, we were the kingdom, right? If we knew we were just going to get it, there's no reason for us to say hopeful elect. You can just say that you're the elect because if you're an Israelite, that's it. You are the elect. But it's hopeful elect because only some of us are going to receive it. All of us are not going to receive everlasting life. And that's what we just pray for, to strive for. That should be our number one goal above all, right? This place is going to fade. Like as a brother posted on Matthew 6:33, right? The righteousness and all these things, seek his kingdom, and all these things should be added unto you. So even your carnal benefit, and even your carnal things, your carnal needs on this earth while we're here, right? If you seek Yahawashi, he will reward you with those things. What did he do with Daniel? When Daniel was prophesying, right? He prophesied to Nebuchadnezzar the fall of his own kingdom. And then, hey, look, Nebuchadnezzar rose him up. What did Joseph get from Pharaoh? Even after he was slave and put on his hands, doing all the work, he was risen up, right, to be into the palace. Then even after his wife bared false witness on him, right, he had to go through that time of affliction and trouble. But guess what? After that, he became, Joseph became the uttermost royalty, right? He became the uttermost royalty, prince, right? That was a dream that was prophesied that his brothers, that he told his brothers they were bowing to him, which it did happen. It did come true. So, these are the things that we striving for. We want this. If you want this, you want this, man. Don't get it twisted. And this is good to hear because we can boost ourselves, right? Sometimes that oil gets low. We don't got as much drip as we would have. This is why we talk with brothers and sisters and we bounce off each other. Some days are stronger than others, but we continue to ride with each other, boost each other, stay in the spirit, right? We continue to grow and build up in Yahawashi HaMashiach. So this is why we come to him. This is being a king, right? Walking in the righteous acts, right? Growing day by day, focusing on that, right? Meditating on these precepts. Let me see. Let's get Sirach. Let me put out Sirach. I haven't put out, one from the book of Sirach yet. Sirach 39. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High and is occupied in meditation thereof will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient and be occupied in prophecies. He will keep the sayings of the renowned men, and where subtle parables are, he will be there also. So look, that's what we got to be. Is we're gonna keep our mind on these precepts, and this is a reminder for myself too. I'm not rebuking y'all, this is for me too. Anything I'm saying to y'all goes double for me and any other brothers that may be teaching, right? Keep that in mind for brothers that want to teach. Let's go to verse 3. Keep it going. He will seek out the secrets of the grave sentences and be conversant in dark parables. Hey, this is something we seek and strive for, to get that kingsmanship, right? All right, so now I'm gonna go. I think we're getting ready to close this out. Revelation 2. We're gonna go back to Revelation 2. All right. We'll start at 9 again, though. Let's go back to 9. And I know thy works in tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. So I can behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, I will give thee a crown of life. Of course, we don't know how many days that really is. If it could be 10, could be less, could be more, but we're being tried. That's the thing. We're being tried. Every day is a day of trial, right? Every day is a day of test, and whether you're going to get back up, right? We're going to get back up in this test and endure to the end, not give up on the race. That's what we're doing. So close to the end as it is now, man. So close to the end. And look, I will give thee a crown of life. that is when you can be called a king. When we're given, just imagine that, being given the crown of life by Yahawashi Mashiach, or the angels, whoever puts it on your head, that is beautiful. I don't think anybody would disagree with me on that. That is beautiful in itself. And that will let you know when, brother, you have become a king. That will let you know, sisters, y'all become princesses, man. Y'all truly are there. And all joy will be added on, right? And that's what we want to see. And that's a beautiful precept the brother brought here, Matthew 22:14. Right? I forgot to bring it out. I'm the water. For many are called, but few are chosen. Many are called, but few are chosen. Because a lot of us are called, even in this pool of Israelite community, a lot of us are called, but not all of us, most of us are not chosen. We're praying that we chosen. Because you can be called to hear the words of the Most High, and these words become life to you, right? They become real. But you got to be chosen to endure to the end. And that's the scary part, right? So we're seeking to be chosen of the Most High, and to be in that air of promise, because that's the air of promise, right? Those are the righteous, the nation, chosen nation of Israel, right? Receiving that crown of righteousness that we talked about, right? Let's get I got one more precept to close it out. Let's get Matthew 25 and 23. I'll close it with this. All right. I'll start at 22. He also that received 2 talents came and said, Lord, thou deliverest me unto me 2 talents. Behold, I have gained 2 other talents beside them. His Lord said unto him, Well done, good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord. And that's the thing, man. He'll make you ruler over many things. Being a good and faithful servant. And he said you've been being faithful over few things. He'll make you a ruler over many things. It's possible. Everyone's got their lot. We don't know all of these pieces are divided up. And don't get me twisted either. It's good to talk about the kingdom. It's good to talk about potential these things, but it's all Yahweh willing. We got to remember that, because we can't make ourselves that number. We just got to pray that the Most High gives us that chance to escape this wickedness, the wickedness of this land, captivity that we're in, and endure to the end, right? That's definitely something we want to strive for and make sure that's at the forefront, so we can be kings. So while we're not kings yet, we definitely want to strive. We're going to walk and do the righteous acts, and Yahweh willing, we will be those kings, crowned of the hopeful elect. The 144,000, right? Amongst each tribe, scattered abroad, right? That's where we want to be. I don't know if there's any questions or not, but it looks like we might be at the end here. So I want to say shalom, special shalom. Yahawashi Yahawashi Barakatah to y'all believers in the chat, brothers and sisters. Shalom to y'all that in the chat taking heed to it. I do hope this was edifying, and of course, as well, before I sign off, Gotta give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem HaMashiach, Malak Yahawashi. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect that are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, learning and or teaching his gospel in truth and sincerity, diligently waiting on the second coming of our Lord and Savior Yahawashi HaMashiach to arrive and destroy this wicked kingdom. And Yahweh willing, we become kings and princesses under the authority and rulership of our Lord and Savior Yahawashi HaMashiach. What a beautiful thing it will be. Shalom, y'all.